Finally, I have this chance to do the full review of Resident Evil 2 remake, because recently there's been happening so much more important things in my life than gaming, so it took me a little bit more time than I thought to do this review, but finally I'm here giving you the full review of the game, or at least the first runs of Leon and Claire campaign. I haven't played the second runs of either character yet, but I just thought that it's enough for me to do a full review when I have completed the first runs of Leon and Claire. And there might be some little spoilers in this review, but I try to avoid them as best I could. But yeah, there probably will be a couple of minor spoilers here and there. Let's start with the Leon campaign. It took me 13 hours to complete, and I just wanted to take time and just explore and really just enjoy the game without any rush. And in my first impressions video I talked about all aspects of the game, so here I'm not going to repeat myself that much, except just saying that the graphics are really good. Not the best I have seen on PlayStation 4, but definitely gorgeous enough graphics to really just strengthen the overall game, because yeah, graphics aren't that important for me in games anyway, but of course they also create atmosphere and mood for the game, and but I really don't have much else to say about the graphics other than they are great. The gameplay is nearly perfect. Like I said in my first impressions video, the shooting mechanics are so good, so spot on, enjoyable. It's really a blast, literally, to shoot enemies, zombies, lickers, and other enemies. But I would have maybe hoped for a little bit more impact from the weapons when shooting, but that's just a minor complaint, because yeah, the action shooting is very, very good. The sounds, like ambience and just sound effects, they are all great stuff, like in the Resident Evil 7. Only little complaint is the lack of music in the remake's soundtrack, but of course you can fix that if you have the deluxe edition, so you can swap to the original Resident Evil 2 soundtrack. But I didn't do that with the first runs of Leon or Claire, but I will do the soundtrack swap for the second runs of each character, definitely, because I think it changes the mood, overall mood of the game quite a bit. I would hope. So let's talk about Mr. X or Tyrant. I think Mr. X in this game is really the key aspect on why this game for me is has a very scary atmosphere. Without Mr. X, I wouldn't say this game would have been that scary or whatnot. I think Mr. X just creates so much tension and panic and scariness to the game, and just the continuous hunting you down, try to find you where you are, and I have to say, on many occasions I just had to run to the safe room because I was just panicking so much that because you just can't be safe on anywhere else pretty much. He will find you if you stay in one spot, if you are not in the safe room. That is a safe haven even from Mr. X. But my tactics were just to run away from him as fast as possible. I didn't shoot him at once, not once. I just thought that shooting Mr. X is just a waste of bullets. And also I would say the final fight with Leon, the final boss of Mr. X with Leon, wasn't really that climactic. It was a little bit boring, I would say. So that was a little bit disappointing for me. But anyway, Mr. X brought so much to the overall game, and I just love it and fear it at the same time. That badass enemy. Next I'm going to talk about the in Leon campaigns, the Ada part of the game. Of course I was expecting to have Ada part in the game, just like in the original, but I must say I was quite disappointed on the Ada's part of the game. It even somewhat broke the flow of the game. It wasn't that interesting, and it was really short also. There was, I would say, maybe 30 minutes, 40 minutes max, the part where you play with Ada. And yeah, in my opinion, it wasn't just that interesting at all. But like I said, I was totally expecting to see the Ada part of the game, of course. I would even say the Ada part in the original was better than in this remake, but it's just my opinion. So let's move on to the Claire campaign. The Claire campaign took me a little less than the Leon's, of course, because there was so many same puzzles that didn't take as much time like the first time with Leon. So in Claire campaign took me about 10 hours to complete, and of course, as I was expecting, Claire's campaign brought the Chief Irons to the picture, and of course Sherry. I really liked what they have done with Chief Irons, making him a fucking maniac. Fucking sick dude that has just lost his mind with all the happenings in the police station and stuff. And talking a little bit of the Sherry part of the Claire's campaign, I think that was a little bit more interesting than the Ada part. And here's a little spoiler, because I just have to say that there was a new area in the game when you played the Sherry part. You played with Sherry in the orphanage, and it wasn't really that long part, as wasn't the Ada's part. Both Ada's and Sherry's parts of the game were quite short, but definitely Sherry's part was more interesting in my opinion than Ada's. Of course, with Sherry you don't fight, you just run. And yeah, I think it was really atmospheric, the Sherry's part. And what else? There wasn't as much encounters with Mr. X on Claire's campaign than it was on Leon's, so I think that made the Claire campaign not as good as Leon's. I liked Leon's campaign a little bit more. What else I could say about? Yeah, the new areas, of course. There was much more new areas than I originally thought there would be. There was a whole new floor, the third floor, and the clock tower part in the police station. There were so many new areas in the police station, and also in the sewers, and a little bit in the laboratory as well. But talking about the locations of the game, definitely the police station is the main character here. It's definitely the most enjoyable area to explore, and just like in the original Resident Evil 2, I didn't really like the laboratory area, and same goes here. I just think they could have made the laboratory a part of the game much longer. It was really short, not much to do in the final area of the game. I would even say the sewer section were more interesting than the laboratory area. So yeah, overall it took me about 23 hours to complete both Leon and Claire campaign, and overall my experience with the game has been really good. Of course, little bit complaints here and there. The game's not perfect for me, but I would definitely say it's 9 out of 10. Yeah, definitely 9 out of 10 for me. And what is there anything else I could say about the game? No, I think I have pretty much said all the things I was thinking of saying. But yeah, this was my review of Resident Evil 2 Remake. I still have a second runs of both Leon and Claire to complete, and I'm not sure if I'm going to do a kind of mini review of those scenarios. I don't think I will, but let's see if I just come up with enough things to discuss about those scenarios. So it remains to be seen if I do a separate video of those campaigns. Yeah, I really fucking love this game, and I'm already looking forward to seeing Resident Evil 3 Nemesis remake in the future, because Capcom has said that now it's the time for fans to really be vocal about it, and just say that the fans need Resident Evil 3 remake, and I'm pretty sure that that's only a matter of time when that happens. The announcement could be coming, who knows, really soon maybe. I would say the announcement will be coming this year. Maybe, if really hopeful and lucky. But yeah, I was waiting for so long for this game, and it just delivered in all apartments. Only the biggest minus for me was the lack of soundtrack, but that really can't be fixed with the deluxe editions, or you can buy it separately, the original soundtrack and sound effects from the original Resident Evil 2. I think that will change the mood quite a bit of the game. But yeah, see you in the next video, whatever it is, and till then, bye bye.